And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pepsi Max 350 version 2 as we prepare for some exciting racing here at the road course known as Infineon down here in warm, very hot actually, Sonoma, California. We prepare for this second division of the Snickers Cup Series to take to the racetrack here today, as we have, I think it's a total of either 33 or 34 drivers, and I can't remember which, but really doesn't matter. They're going to be taken to this racetrack, and we are going to have our second Snickers Cup Series winner of this weekend. Of course, if you watched the race yesterday, the first division, it was Jamie Watson stretching the fuel to be able to get to victory lane there and picking up his first career win. We may have the same kind of a scenario happen here today. The question is, though, who's it going to be? We are mere moments away from finding out. Give you the first two rows. Brent McCaleb is going to be getting his first career pole there in the number 37, alongside of Sean Galligan, who won at Quarter Slammer a few weeks ago. And then Hannah Smith making her first career Snickers Cup Series start in that newly formed team from Godspeed Motorsports in the number 67, alongside of Bill James. You got two front row motorsports cars up front. And here is the rest of the starting lineup for today's Pepsi Max 350 version 2. Well, in this field, folks, we got a little bit of an assortment here. Drivers making their first career start, some drivers sporting new paint schemes, and also our current points leader, Trent Whitney, is in this field as well. We'll be keeping an eye on him during the course of the day, as he's going to be trying to keep his points lead, which he has had ever since he won the Daytona 500. He has not relinquished that points lead to anybody, and he seems to have maintained a pretty good points lead this whole season as well. See if it'll continue today, but Brent McCaleb's getting ready to get us under the green flag. A rookie pole sitter is going to take the green at Infineon here in the Pepsi Max 350 version 2. They'll head up here to this very difficult first turn. We'll see if everybody can make it through okay. It looks like, I think we did it okay the first time we went through this turn with the Snicker cars in Division 1. It looks like we're going to be clean and green this time as well. Nice to see that here. Apparently these drivers, after running, whoa! Little rookie mistake there by Brent McCaleb. Sean Galligan's going to get by for the lead. But apparently with the Truck Series race and the Mobile Cup Series race, these drivers, they participate in some of those as well, and they must have a bit of experience on how to get through that first turn without all piling up, jacking each other up, and causing a whole melee up there on the very first lap. Sean Galligan, though, he's got the lead. Wow, I'll tell you what, Brent McCaleb, he apparently made a good lap to be able to get the pole, but I'll tell you what, that 37 car is not making a good lap right now. That's the second mistake I've seen him make, and now he's got his rookie teammate on the back bumper challenging him for second. That's Bill James in the 38 car. I'll tell you what, if I were Brent McCaleb, I would definitely get a wedge adjustment on that car next time or something, as he just hit the wall and lost a few more spots. Lost one to Luke Walker, lost one to Justin Perry, and now he's under fire from Hannah Smith for the 5th position. Back here, we got another Front Row Motorsports car. Front Row Motorsports running very well right at the moment. Had good qualifying spots. There's Sam Young, currently running in the 7th position, but he's got Devin Wilson right behind him. Also making his first start, Danny Wells back there in 9th in the Rockstar Energy Drink Chevrolet. And then you got James McLeod in the new Lowe's paint scheme this weekend in Infineon. He's right there in the 10th position at this moment. Back up here to the front, Bill James continues to run in 2nd place. 3rd place now is Luke Walker. 4th is Justin Perry. And Hannah Smith, who started off, I believe, in the 3rd position, she has now worked her way back up to the 5th position in the Pepsi Next Chevrolet. Brent McCaleb now is running in the 5th position. In 5th. No. Wait a minute, where is Brent McCaleb running? McCaleb's running in 6th, and Sam Young is running in 7th. He's now going to challenge his teammate. Whoa, ran right into the back of him there into turn 11. That could have gotten awfully close. Look at James McLeod. Picked up 2 spots since we last talked about him. He was 10th. He's going to cross the stripe, I think, in the 8th position this time. And that is indeed the case. He is now up to the 8th spot is the Lowe's Impala, James McLeod. Good run right now in that 48 car. There's the Rockstar Energy Drink Chevrolet for Danny Wells, making his first career start in that 68 car. Let's look further back here. Samet Ozkan, he's now taken over the 10th position, but he's about to lose that. Devin Wilson, who really has been a silent type. I haven't talked about Devin Wilson in many races, but Devin's doing very well in the points, and he's trying to continue that on here as he now takes his position in the top 10 away from Samet Ozkan. John Worry, he's piloting a different paint scheme this week in Infineon with Doritos on the hood of that car, getting bypassed right now by the Aquafina Ford of Joseph Bryant. Whoa, look at the dust getting kicked up there. Don't know who it was that kicked it up, but it obviously caused quite a bit of a screen there, a sandstorm. There's Dylan Young. He's got the same sponsorship of... Oh, Devin Wilson's coming down pit road. This may be some pit strategy here for the 42. We'll follow that in a minute. Oh, our pole sitter, Brent McCaleb's coming down as well. Not surprised about that because he had a pretty ill-handling race car at the start of this thing. But on lap 3, they're already trying to do some pit strategy. But here you got Dylan Young. He's got the Bandit paint scheme there, but he's also got a new sponsorship for his primary sponsor right on the hood there. That's the PORWC PlayStation 3 series that Dylan Young's going to be racing for the PORWC on YouTube. So that logo on the hood of that car, I think he's going to be sponsored by that at Talladega next week as well. Making his first career start is Rowdy Estep in the number 45 Target Chevrolet. He's about to get passed by Ricky James in the kind of alternate Aaron's paint scheme. Where you see white, it's blue, and where you see blue, it's white on his other paint scheme, which he has been racing in most of the qualifying races. He's now got blue as basically the majority color for the race car this week. Here's a former winner at Infineon, Chad Skinner in the 40. Skinner, in the very first season of the Snickers Cup Series at Infineon, stretched the fuel mileage while driving the number 66 for Prism Motorsports and ended up picking up his first career win. And then he's actually been kind of, I don't know how you would describe. Oh my goodness! Just as we talk about him, he gets turned off the nose of Mia Morris. Everybody's going to miss him, it looks like. Does that bring out the caution, though? A spin in turn 11. And the red flag is out, but I can't tell if the yellow is waving. Yes, it is. The yellow flag will come out for Chad Skinner, who we were just at that moment talking about. And these are drivers that actually made some pit stops. Devin Wilson made a pit stop. Jacob Cook made a pit stop. Brent McCaleb, Adam Chambers, they pitted before the caution came out and everything. And so they're probably going to be able to come around and get the green flag in first through fourth unless they decide to come down and pit again. But Sean Galligan, he's coming down as the caution flag has been waved. He now has been told over the radio that the caution is out, and so Galligan, he'll race it back to the stripe, and once he gets across the stripe, then he will slow down his pace so that way he can get in line behind the pace car. Bill James, he's still second, Luke Walker third, Hannah Smith fourth, and Sam Young now has a spot inside the top 5. So you got 2 front row motorsports cars inside of the top 5 right now. James McLeod 6th. But the car that I believe the caution did come out for was our former winner from Season 1, the Chevy Impala of Chad Skinner. Okay, take a look here. Mia Morris is trying to get to the inside of Chad Skinner here. Mia Morris had a good run in that Jimmy John's Chevrolet last race. She's trying to see if she can do the same here at Infineon, but right here she gets into that right rear of the Coors Light Chevy, turns them around, and the lucky thing was that Skinner's car slid down below that, to the right side of that white line pretty much, so everybody had enough room to be able to get by him without making any contact. I was a little worried. Kristen Worry's going to come into the picture here in just a moment. Right there, I thought she might make some contact, but luckily she was able to miss the Chad Skinner machine as well. So Skinner, it may not be in the cards for him to be able to go to victory lane at Infineon here twice, but still a long ways to go in this race. Let's go back to green. Well, I was looking through the replay record here, and there was also another incident that involved Nick Bergen there in the 32. He gets contact from Richard Johnson. And I don't know if this was before the caution came out or after, but watch right here. The car slides up, gets a little bit airborne off that hill, and he just can't slow it down. He gets into that wall right there, and there is some front-end damage to the Federated Auto Parts Ford, so a tough break for Nick Bergen, who was trying to maybe turn his luck around here at Infineon, but he was able to come back up onto the racetrack, keep the car going, and so I don't know if the caution came out for him or for Chad Skinner, but nonetheless, the caution came out, so we're going to go back to green flag racing now. So we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Nick Bergen actually made a pit stop and is on the tail end of the lead lap there, but he is in the 34th position, so he is not the leader. The actual leader is Jacob Cook. Second is Devin Wilson. Third is Adam Chambers. Fourth is Brent McCaleb. Those four made pit stops under that green flag run, so they were able to get back around while the other pit stops are being made by everybody else, and they hold the top four spots. Sean Galligan is now back to fifth due to the pit stops. Sixth place now Bill James. Seventh is Luke Walker. Eighth is Sam Young, and ninth is Danny Wells with Hannah Smith in 10th. 11th is James McLeod. Samet Ozkan 13th. 12th is Samet Ozkan. 13th is Dylan Young. 14th Rowdy Estep. 15th is Ricky James. 16th is John Worry. 17th Jake Cole. Joseph Bryant 18th. 19th is Richard Johnson. And Jacob Lawler completes the top 20. All drivers that started this race are still on the racetrack and still on the lead lap. Dylan Young is right there, 34th, but he is not a lap down. He is ahead of Jacob Cook, which means he is on the tail end of the lead lap. So all 34 cars that started the race are still in this thing, but we may have a lap car pretty soon here because there is damage to that 32 car of Nick Bergen. Not certain if he'll be up to speed with the rest of the race cars or not, and we'll find that out in mere moments. As the pace car peels off, we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing on lap 8 of 28. Jacob Cook, Devin Wilson, Adam Chambers, and Brent McCaleb, our pole sitter, all elected to come down pit road that last green flag run, and so they have a little bit older tires, but they have track position, which is also a key thing here at Infineon. We'll see how these guys can do. One thing about Jacob Cook and Devin Wilson, they both are running very well in the standings, and being out here in front, that's may help their chances with leaving with a good finish and picking up even more points and more positions in the standings. Green flag is back out. Adam Chambers goes to work right off the bat with Devin Wilson. Chambers in that peak paint scheme this weekend at Infineon. He's our defending Snickers Cup Series champion. He's trying to get back on track. Here comes Jacob Cook to the inside of the slower car of Nick Bergen. Cook is going to try and put that car one lap down. He will do so. Bergen's going to give a lot of room there. Whoa, nearly some contact there for third between Adam Chambers and Brent McCaleb, but they settle it out, and we are still green flag racing. So right now, it is two Chevys out in front, one piloted by Jacob Cook, the other by Devin Wilson. The 30 car comes out of Richard Childress' stables, the 42 out of Earnhardt Ganassi Racing, and we are getting the word that the caution is out once again. Not exactly certain who for. We'll find that out in a moment, as back here, cars are still being held up behind the 32. Right there, you saw a result of it. Brent McCaleb was held up behind Nick Bergen, could not get around him. Here's Chambers. He'll try and get around the Nick Bergen machine. Whoa! Watch out, Bergen. Gets loose off that turn, but it looks like Adam Chambers will clear Nick Bergen here in turn 11. He'll go to the inside. So too will Brent McCaleb. Bill James waiting for a line to open up there as well to get past that lap car now of Nick Bergen, as the caution now waves, and the leader under caution is Jacob Cook. I believe the car that we are under the caution for, I think we just saw it there, and that's Rowdy Estep in the 45 car. So tough break for Rowdy making his first start. Trying to see if anybody else may have been involved in anything here. There's Trent Whitney. Looks like he's got some front end damage, our points leader. Oh, Dylan Young. Oh man, Dylan Young in that newly sponsored car, number 50. He may have been involved as well. So the caution's out. We'll see why we're under the caution for the second time today. Rowdy Estep and Dylan Young are on pit road with badly damaged race cars. Okay, we're going to look at this from the helicopter view. This was what the caution came out for. The incident with Dylan Young and Rowdy Estep occurred afterwards. There's the 46. He ended up getting in the dirt, which slowed him down. And then he's going to come back up the racetrack. Kristen Worry's already there, and she's going to make some contact with the 46. Turn the 46 down, and the 36 is also going to get clipped. So Trent Whitney and Logan Ryan getting together. Sorry about that. Getting together, Logan Ryan going to spin down here in this very hard right-hand L, and Trent Whitney, he's going to try and make this turn wide to get around, and he can't do it. And look at Kristen Worry, look at Barney Ward, look at Daniel Schwab, and look at Red Bell. All of them pretty much just got loose and slid the cars around there in that turn. This track, the heat, you see Matt Nathan do the exact same thing in the BB&T Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. all these drivers, basically, there's just no grip out there. That car, when it starts to go around on you, there's no holding it back. It's going to go around on you. And so a lot of these drivers, not really damaged, but they did lose some track position and brought out the caution flag with the pretty much, I would say, a 5-6 car spin right there in the hard right-hand L turn. Here's a look at what happened to Dylan Young and Rowdy Estep. For the most part, it looks like Dylan Young was the one that got into Rowdy Estep right there. He does turn. He kind of turns a little bit to the right, gets into the 45, but then the 45 is turned. The 50 just has to follow on the tire tracks there. And oh my word, would you look at that impact. Oh my goodness. 45 was literally jacked up in the air because the 50 was right behind it. Oh, wow, that is hard lick right there for those drivers. Let's take another camera angle at it. Well, this is it in real time, just to show you how hard the impact was. Oh, good grief. Boy, I hope they're both okay. That was terrible whiplash for the 50 car, but also for the 45. I hope both of them are okay. We're going to take one more look at it in slow motion here. You're going to come into your screen and... oh my goodness, look at that impact. That is probably one of the hardest hits in the tire barrier I have ever seen taken. And that was while those cars were going somewhere around anywhere from 100 to 120 miles per hour. That's hard impact. And that's not even a safer barrier. That's tires there that they nailed. So we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Nick Bergen has retired from the race. Dylan Young is also out. Rowdy Estep has not declared himself out of the race yet, but after the impact that 45 car took, no doubt he will retire from the race as well. Well, we had no pit stops that last caution, so we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing with the top 10 looking like this. Jacob Cook leads. Devin Wilson second. Adam Chambers third. Brant McCaleb is fourth. Nick Bergen is a lap down in... or actually, Nick Bergen is not out. Why did I say he was out? He's only a lap down. He's in 33rd. Fifth place is Bill James, sixth is Luke Walker, seventh is Danny Wells, eighth Sean Galligan, ninth is Hannah Smith, and Samet Ozkan completes the top 10 as we get ready to go back under the green flag. Wonder if Nick Bergen there, that 32 Ford, is going to be a problem for any more drivers here. We're going to find out. Back to green flag racing we go on lap 11 of 28. Jacob Cook out in front looking for his first win of the Snickers Cup Series. Coming down here to the stripe, the command, or not the command, but the flag is waving, so they'll stomp on the accelerator to head up the hill. Green flag is back out on lap 11. Now let's see how they do up here through this turn. He's got a lot of pressure on him, that coming from Devin Wilson and another Chevy in the form of Adam Chambers. Bill James sliding through the dirt, look out. He almost got turned by Danny Wells back there. They are 3 wide back there. Look at this. Whoa, look at Hannah Smith get airborne. Whoa, and there goes Brent McCaleb, and I think that was Adam Chambers. 2 guys who were inside the top 5, I think, got together. And how did Hannah Smith hang on to that race car? It literally went up in the air, airborne, when she was going 3 wide there with Danny Wells and with Bill James. I don't know how she was able to hold on to that. Oh, Danny Wells gets turned around. Spins, and oh, Jake Cole almost gets into him. Oh, look out, everybody. Oh, my goodness. How did they miss him? How did they miss? Oh, look out. How did they miss Danny Wells? I don't know. Oh, look out. Oh, Ricky James hard into the wall with Jacob Lawler. It's utter chaos. Pandemonium here. Lawler, Ricky James. Adam Chambers we know was involved in something along with pole sitter Brent McCaleb. There's Chambers, Barney Ward, he may have been involved in something as the caution is obviously out. There's what's left of Ricky James' machine. Danny Wells we saw go for a long spin. And somehow it looked like everybody missed him. There's what's left of Ricky James' machine. Brent McCaleb, our pole sitter, he's involved. Adam Chambers, I know has sustained some damage. Jacob Lawler, there he is. There's Chambers, our defending Snickers Cup Series champ. And Barney Ward, can't tell if there's any damage to him or not. He may have been involved in something, though. Well, the caution is obviously out. Let's see what for. I'd say there were 3 or 4 different things that occurred on that one lap. It took out a lot of top contenders. Well, here's a look. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle here. See if this is a better camera angle, because I don't know if we got a good enough one to see where the contact actually happened and how it happened. Chambers seemed to kind of slide through that one turn there to the left. But right here, there's contact by Brent McCaleb, and he just kind of turns Chambers. And, oh, Chambers gets the wall. Brent McCaleb gets Chambers and then hits the wall with the front end of his car. Both of them were running in 3rd and 4th, respectively, at the time. And that's just a tough break there, but newcomer Danny Wells gets a little bit of an Infineon welcome. Let's see what happens to him. Danny Wells is going to make some contact here with Hannah Smith. Right there is the contact. Boy, they hit twice. And that may have flattened his right front right there, that contact. Don't know for certain, but look at him slide down through here. And this, I thought, was going to be utter chaos. He kind of bounces off James McLeod, but really McLeod doesn't get any damage. Look at Jake Cole. Oh, Cole did get some damage in the 39, but I'll tell you what, that could have been a lot worse than it was. And the big thing for Danny Wells was he was able to slow down before nailing that tire barrier. I think the contact that was made with both Jake Cole and James McLeod kind of helped the 68 scrub off enough speed without having to hitting anything. And so, tell you what, dodging a bullet is Danny Wells. Jake Cole does have some damage. We'll catch up on that in just a minute. Let's see now what happened to Ricky James and Jacob Lawler. Now take a look at this. You got this dust storm up ahead caused by Joseph Bryan and Samet Ozkan. And so Lawler, along with Ricky James, they're trying to find somewhere to go to be able to get out of the dust. And so they're going through the dirt. There's James in the Aaron's Toyota. Lawler in the 5100cars.com Chevy. And I think they're just going to end up getting together coming off this turn here. Let's see if we can find out. Is there any oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Mia Morris hit Ricky James and sends Ricky James into Jacob Lawler. Mia Morris was the start of that right there. Sent Ricky James down into Lawler, and both of them nail the wall. And look at how Ricky James' car just stays in that tire barrier there. That car just almost kind of, I don't know, morphed itself into the tire barrier. Rather hard impact there. And Lawler, real tough break for him as well. They were both running inside the top 20. Lawler crossed the stripe in 17th last time by. Ricky James was listed in 15th last time by, but neither one of them are going to go to victory lane today as they caught up in an incident here on lap number 11. So back to green flag racing we shall go, and it shall be on lap 14. Sam Young coming down pit road here on this restart. Maybe a little strategy being played out by that Taco Bell Ford. Richard Johnson doing the same thing, and I think that's Samet Ozkan also deciding to come down pit road. Top 10, the way they look right now, not counting the drivers coming down pit road, are Luke Walker, James McLeod, Hannah Smith, and it's Bill James in 4th. 5th place is Sean Galligan. 6th place is Christopher Blake. 7th is John Worry. 8th is Joseph Bryant. 9th is William Duncan. And Daniel Schwab completes the top 10. Luke Walker going to get us back underway. Drivers that are out of the race include Adam Chambers, Ricky James, Jacob Lawler, and they join Rowdy Estef and Dylan Young in the garage area. Green flag displayed for Luke Walker. In the 26, he's got James McLeod all over the back bumper of him, though. You know, McLeod doing really, really well this season in the 48, but he's still looking for his first Snickers Cup Series victory, and he's going to look to the inside right now for that top spot. Walker going to try and hold him off, but James McLeod's going to hang tough on that inside line. Look at him use that momentum there to drive on by. Hannah Smith, got to be pretty impressed with her. It's as if she's raced at Infineon her whole life here in her first Snickers Cup Series start. Up in the 2nd position now. 3rd place now going to go to Sean Galligan. Christopher Blake, we haven't talked about him all day long. He's now up in the 4th place in that Valero Dodge. Also seeing another driver working his way up through the field, and there he is, John Worry. He's up now to position number 7. And how about William Duncan up there in 8th in that number 60 car. Got a battle on for the lead once again. This time it's Hannah Smith all over the back of James McLeod. She'll try and get the inside line. Heading here through turn 11. McLeod's going to have to give way. He may try and battle back here, but I think Hannah Smith has him cleared. That is indeed the case. And Hannah Smith, in her first start, leads the way here at Infineon. Great job for the driver of the number 67 from Godspeed Motorsports. Pepsi next on the sponsorship for that race car. And she certainly wants to have some momentum heading into Talladega next week, no doubt about that. Wants to pull off a Tim Tebow. and in her first start in the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series, take home the win. Well, Hannah Smith, if she were to win the race, she would join several other drivers in the All-Star race this season. We know now that a new driver is going to be in the All-Star race, and that, of course, was our winner yesterday, Jamie Watson. And a big thing about this new division kind of thing we got going on is the fact, caution's out. But as I was saying, the new thing about these divisions we've got that we split them into, we're going to have more drivers in the All-Star race because we have 3 separate winners each and every week that the Snickers Cup cars race. And James McLeod tries to make one final last attempt to try and get the lead under the caution. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, though, as Hannah Smith will lead us under the caution flag, and the caution is going to come out for Red Bell. Red Bell in the Golden Corral Ford, and I think Joseph Bryant may have also gotten a piece of it as well in the Aquafina Ford. Let's see what we're under the caution flag for I think this is now our 3rd time at Infineon. Well, that is not the reason we are under the caution. Joseph Bryant Red Bell actually made some pit stops under that green flag run. The reason we're under the caution flag is for the Stuart Haas Racing entry of Jake Cole. Watch him make this turn rather hard. Car's going to slide around on him, and he's going to make some contact there with the 42 of Devin Wilson. It's going to send his car kind of into a little bit of a spin. But this is kind of the same as it was yesterday. We had another car do that in this very same area, and Jake Cole was able to get his car righted and going, and so I am not certain why the caution was out for something like that, but nonetheless, it was their choice to throw the caution out, and so that's the case. And that brings out the 3rd caution, a rather minor incident bringing out the caution for the 3rd time today. Let's go back to green flag racing. Well, nobody coming down pit road this time. We actually have Samet Ozkan listed as 1 lap down. I'm not exactly sure why. I think he actually got caught on pit road and was put a lap down or something. But nonetheless, he is in 29th, 1 lap down. Nick Bergen, 28th, 1 lap down. Cars out of the race, if you just joined us, include Adam Chambers, Ricky James, Jacob Lawler, Rowdy Estep, and Dylan Young. Well, here's the way they look as they go back to green flag racing on lap 18 of 28. Hannah Smith, in her first start, leads the way. James McLeod, 2nd. 3rd is Luke Walker. 4th is John Worry. And 5th is Bill James. 6th is Mia Morris. Trent Whitney is 7th. 8th is Chad Skinner. 9th is Danny Wells. And 10th is Jacob Cook. 11th is Alexander Dawson. You see him and Danny Wells deciding to come down pit road this time. Going to be interesting to see what happens there. 12th place is going to be Sean Galligan. 13th, Devin Wilson. 14th is Christopher Blake. 15th is Brent McCaleb. 16th is going to be Daniel Schwab. And that's as far back as I can go before they put us under the caution flag. So, more pit strategies being played out. This time it's being played out by Alexander Dawson and Danny Wells. There's a car up ahead. That's Matt Nathan, Red Bell, and Joseph Bryant all getting pit stops done before the green comes out. That puts them on the tail end of the lead lap, I believe. Very interesting strategy here. Let's see if they can get away from Hannah Smith before they get put a lap down. Matt Nathan would be the first one. Very interesting strategy I'm seeing played out here, especially due to the fact that that Matt Nathan, Joseph Bryant, and Red Bell all made pit stops just before the caution came out. So either they topped it off with fuel or something, but they are definitely on a whole different sequence from everybody else. Hannah Smith pulls away with the lead. Here's a battle for the 2nd position. 3 drivers battling it out there. John Worry, Luke Walker, James McLeod. As Bill James wants to enter the fray as well. Now they get single file. Walker to 2nd. 3rd is McLeod. Worry to 4th. And 5th place now is Bill James, but not for long. James McLeod, he's not going to take no for an answer. He wants to get that 2nd position back. McLeod going to use the momentum through this turn to take the 2nd position. And now pit stops are being made by the lead lap cars. Hannah Smith is going to come down pit road along with everybody else. Hannah Smith is in. Let's go to our 2nd pit road camera here. Look at that. It's feeding time at the zoo. Looks like Sean Galligan decided to stay out in the 44, so we'll follow him now as he would be the new leader. Oh, the caution's out. No, leader is Daniel Schwab. Schwab is the leader. And the caution flag is waving, and so the race is going to be under the caution flag at this point. And the new leader is Daniel Schwab, who decided not to come down pit road. But what are we under the caution for is the question. And it looks like, well, no, Kristen Worry's making a pit stop. Oh, it looks like Jake Cole again. Jake Cole in the 39 looks like he was involved in yet another incident. So let's see what happened to the U.S. Army Chevrolet as Daniel Schwab is now the new leader here at Infineon. Here's what happened. This is a very strange caution to come out, but a caution nonetheless. Right here, Jake Cole, he's kind of held up behind the Brent McCaleb machine, and he kind of almost turns McCaleb, and then he gets into the inside pit wall, and it blocked pit road. You can see the flagman there with the red flag waving that the pit road is closed now, and Jake Cole is the guy there. You know, he either did one of two things. Either he didn't see where the line was to come down pit road because he was trying to figure out whether McCaleb was coming down or not, or he ended up getting into McCaleb and then saw the caution was going to be coming out, so he decided he was going to stay out, and he turned the hard left or the hard right to stay on the racetrack and wasn't able to do it because he was just so far over towards the tire barrier. But nonetheless, Jake Cole is the reason we're under the caution flag. And a rather bizarre caution it is, no doubt. Back to green flag racing we shall go. We got a few other drivers that are listed a lap down now. Samet Ozkan, Chad Skinner. They are both listed one lap down. That undoubtedly due to them getting caught on pit road. But Jake Cole, I believe he has retired from this race after hitting the pit wall there. There was black smoke coming out, so that's pretty much a fatality sign for that car. Leader is Daniel Schwab, Sean Galligan second, Devin Wilson third, Christopher Blake fourth, Sam Young fifth, sixth place is William Duncan, seventh Logan Ryan now, Barney Ward is up to eighth, Richard Johnson is now ninth, and Justin Perry is 10th. We got a few new players up inside the top 10 here, including this guy, who actually brought out one of the caution flags after he was involved in like that 6-car spin that occurred in that hard right L turn, but Daniel Schwab has emerged as the leader in that black and gold Napa filters paint scheme, and the green flag is now waving for the Daniel Schwab machine to get back under green. He's got a fellow Toyota behind him. That, of course, Sean Galligan in the Hartley-Pool Toyota. Devin Wilson, Christopher Blake, Sam Young. Whoa, look out! Daniel Schwab makes a bit of a mistake there through that turn. Sean Galligan's going to capitalize, and he's going to go to the lead. Schwab now back second. Whoa! Now Galligan makes the mistake, and Christopher Blake almost got turned around. Somehow he held on to that race car. A lot of great saves here on this restart, but Daniel Schwab is now the leader after Galligan capitalized on his mistake, and then he capitalized on Galligan's mistake. Now Galligan has slid back to third as there's a new second-place car. It'll be Devin Wilson. Well, maybe not. Galligan's hanging pretty tough here. And Galligan is going to keep the top spot. Or not the top spot, but the second position. Christopher Blake right there, waiting for a line to open up to be able to get by Devin Wilson. That would be for position number 3. But this all going on behind the race car of Daniel Schwab, who's just kind of enjoying a little bit of a lead. 3 wide off this turn. Christopher Blake moves it way low. Devin Wilson in the middle. Up high, or not up high, but to the left side, Sean Galligan. Luckily, they settled it back out to double-wide racing, but wow, awfully hard racing for that second position. And give it to Devin Wilson. Christopher Blake now going to try and get by Sean Galligan. As for position number 3, they bounce off each other coming up that turn. And how about Logan Ryan and William Duncan? The two big red cars running very well in 7th and 8th right now. Very impressive run for both of those cars, even though one's a Chevy and one's a Toyota, but they're both sponsored by the same thing. Yellow lights are on. That means the caution is out. Christopher Blake, he's now going to the inside of Devin Wilson. That's for second place. Daniel Schwab still continues to lead the way by quite a margin. You can see him. He's got nearly, 14, 15 car lengths over the rest of the field. Whoa, Devin, hang on to it, boy. He's gone off into the dirt, and he loses 3, 4, 5 positions here due to that. Loses now 1 to Logan Ryan. He lost a total of 5 spots due to that problem he had off that turd and sliding into the dirt. As Logan Ryan now is going to go underneath Richard Johnson, and they're 3 wide up here again. Christopher Blake, Sam Young, and Sean Galligan now battling at 3 wide for the third position. And luckily the caution's out, so all that mayhem's going to end now, and they'll get single file, but unbelievable. As Christopher Blake got second position on that exchange, Sam Young third, Sean Galligan in fourth, but Daniel Schwab obviously is the leader. And caution came out for, I'm gonna say John Worry, I think. It's either John Worry or possibly Mia Morris, but I think it was a Richard Childress car. See if we can pinpoint who it was that brought the caution out for what I think is now the 4th time today. It was indeed John Worry. Here's what happened. Worry gets up into the dirt, comes back down onto the racetrack, but Luke Walker is there, and there's the contact. Walker turns the Doritos Chevrolet around. Bill James also gets some damage on that exchange. The 26 goes for a spin. So too does the 33. Although, here's the contact that Worry makes with the outside wall. I thought there was some rear-end damage to that race car, and there was indeed. Luke Walker is able to get his car spun back around and continue on, but Worry in that Doritos Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing, not so lucky as the back of his race car gets a taste of the safer barrier there and brings out the caution flag. We've only got about 7 laps to go. Let's see if any pit strategies are going to be played out here late in this race. Now, before we do that, we ended up having something else happen here. Watched Kristen Worry, Joseph Bryant, Mia Morris all kind of do the sunset swing or something. I don't know, but there goes Bryant, there goes Kristen Worry, there goes Mia Morris. They all do it in unison. And, I don't know. I'm going to do something. I just feel like doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, the NNSCRA presents Swan Lake at Infineon. La da 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 da. Okay, I know I'm having way too much fun, but, you know, that's what it makes me think of. It makes me think of something like that, like it's ballet. I mean, look, Matt Nathan almost does it up ahead, too. He actually does. Matt Nathan goes around. There goes Joseph Bryant. Doesn't it kind of make you think, la da 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 da. The way they do it is just so softly. Okay, I'm having way too much fun. I think I'm getting bored here or something, but nonetheless, we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing, folks. So, the green flag will come out, and we will have a total of 4 laps remaining. Can these guys up ahead stretch it on fuel? Can they stretch it on tires? We're going to find out in mere moments. Let's see. Anybody retiring from the race after that? No. John Worry has made repairs as race cars return to the racetrack, so there is no other drivers out of the racetrack with the exception of those that I have mentioned earlier. Daniel Schwab leads, Christopher Blake is second, Sean Galligan third, fourth is Logan Ryan, fifth is Richard Johnson. Only 2 have captured their first win in the Snickers Cup Series. 3 of them have not. Devin Wilson is 6th, 7th William Duncan, Justin Perry is up to 8th, 9th is Danny Wells, and 10th is Barney Ward. 11th place is Bill James. Trent Whitney is up to 12th. How did he do that? 13th, James McLeod, 14th, Hannah Smith, and Alexander Dawson completes the top 15 as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Daniel Schwab about to put us under the green flag once again, and this may be for the final time today as we have a total of 4 laps remaining, 4 to go, as the green flag waves here at Infineon. Can we maybe finish this thing up without another caution coming out? That would certainly be nice, but I'm not too hopeful about that. Daniel Schwab, though, leads the way. Second place now is under contest. It's Sean Galligan to the inside of Christopher Blake. That battle rages on behind Daniel Schwab, who continues to, in a word, run away, but in a good way. He has just checked out on this field. As we got Christopher Blake, he will now take control of second. Third place is now Sean Galligan. Logan Ryan, very good run for the 36 car. And remember, if he wins the top 10, if he finishes in the top 10, kids eat free at Golden Corral. Don't forget that, as you can see that on the back. Don't take my word for it, though. I don't want people walking into Golden Corral and saying, hey, Seth Cole said we could eat free here. That would not be a good thing. Anyway, I think the caution may be out, because the red flag is out for pit road, as Sean Galligan now goes around Christopher Blake. And yeah, there's a car on pit road. Who is that? Oh, that's Matt Nathan. Matt Nathan in the 31. Caution is waving. Daniel Schwab is the leader. Matt Nathan is the reason we're under the caution once again. I don't know if we're going to get back to green flag racing or not. We just might, but we're going to find out first what happened to the BB&T Chevrolet. This was a battle for around the 15th, 16th position, and the contact's going to come from Samet Ozkan. Right there. There's the contact. And that's going to send Matt Nathan, who is en route to a top 20 finish, right down and into that tire barrier. He slides and bam, just hits that tire barrier. And when you hit that tire barrier, pretty much your day is going to be done, because those tires, they don't give. That just rips away at your race car, and it's also a lot harder of a hit than if you hit the safer barrier. So a tough break for the Richard Childress entry of Matt Nathan. Let's see if we're going to go back under green, or has Daniel Schwab won this thing? Well, the lights are still on atop the pace car, which means we will not be able to get back to green flag racing, which means Daniel Schwab is going to be your winner here in the Division 2 race of the Snickers Cup Series here at Infineon. Daniel Schwab is going to come around this very long road course, and he will get the checkered flag, and he will be declared the winner of the Pepsi Max 350 version 2. Second place is going to go to Sean Galligan. Christopher Blake's going to get third. Logan Ryan fourth, and Richard Johnson's going to come away with a very respectable 5th place finish. Where is our points leader? Trent Whitney going to finish, you ask? Well, he has been just moving up through the field ever since that incident involved him early on, and he's going to finish in the 11th position. I'll tell you what, this guy just always seems to pull a rabbit out of a hat and come away with a good finish despite any hardships that come to that number 46 car. Since winning the Daytona 500, he's been absolutely unstoppable, and no doubt about it, that 11th place finish is probably going to keep him in the points lead. How about the driver making her first start? She led for a while, Hannah Smith. She's going to come away with a very respectable top 10 finish in 10th. 9th place for Danny Wells, also making his first start and his debut to the Snickers Cup Series. So both he and Hannah Smith, well done, and great top 10 finishes for both of them. Barney Ward in the 49 car. I'll tell you what, ever since he moved over to that 49, he's been doing very well in that AmericaIsrael.com Chevrolet or Toyota, and he's going to come away with an 8th place finish. William Duncan's going to come away with a very respectable 7th place. Devin Wilson's going to pick up some valuable points, doing well in the standings now, and a 6th place finish is going to help his efforts. And as mentioned, we'll go through the top 5 from 5th to 1st. Richard Johnson in the number 47 Bubba Burger Toyota. A great run for him after taking over that ride from Joshua Courier. And then you got up ahead of him Logan Ryan. This has been a ride that really has needed a good finish. He gets it here today in that number 36. Once again, just because he finished in the top 10, don't go to Golden Corral and say, hey, kids ate free because Logan Ryan finished in the top 10. Christopher Blake, this is his first start if I am correct, and he's going to come away with a great 3rd place finish for that car. Great job by the Valero Dodge. Even though he has sustained some front end damage to his Valero Dodge, still this car very durable and finishes 3rd. Sean Galligan, just a few weeks after finishing with his first Snickers Cup Series victory at Quarter Slammer, he's going to come away with yet another great finish. He's actually in the top 20 in points, and he may move into the top 10 in points with a great 2nd place run here today. He was looking for his 2nd win of the season, but it's not to be. He has to give the victory over to fellow Toyota Daniel Schwab, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is Daniel Schwab's 2nd career Snickers Cup Series victory. He came with the new black and gold paint scheme of Napa filters. Well, that's going to help him get to victory lane here today, as the pace car will lead the field across, and Daniel Schwab is going to hit the stripe, and he is your winner of the Pepsi Max 350 version 2. Congrats to him. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you'll tune in for the Division 3 race, which will be coming up very, very soon. Here comes the finishing order. Remember, the point standings will not be coming out until after the 3rd division race. So if you were in this division, you want to know where you are in points. If you were in the 1st division, you want to know where you are in points. Be sure and look at the end of the Division 3 race here at Infineon. Daniel Schwab is the 2nd winner here at Infineon. He joins Jamie Watson. Who's going to be the 3rd winner here at Infineon? We'll find out when the Division 3 cars come here. And the next week we head to the super speedway of all super speedways, Talladega Super Speedway in Talladega, Alabama. Thanks for watching the NNSCRA Sports Channel. Offline racing at its best. Here comes the finishing order.